Welcome to the inaugural episode of InMotion, the videocast that is pulled down faster than a TOS violation on 4chan. I'm your host, Zhan Shi. I don't know if I'm taking a page out of Victory Gundam's book, where the first episode is actually the third or the fourth, or if I'm just retconning things already. You know, maybe I'll just go with Watashi no Kare wa Pilot is the open version of InMotion, and beta version 2.0 is, well, the beta version, and the Xbox Live is a patch, the first patch. So, without further ado, welcome to the commercial release of InMotion! Let's start out with the core differences between Left 4 Dead and Dead Space using Gears of War and Gears of War 2 as reference. In this case, all of the games I've mentioned are shooters and they all deal with the enemy being out to kill you, and possibly the last vestiges of the human race while they're at it. You eventually find out how the necromorphs came to be in Dead Space, at least I think you do. You're left wondering about the Locust Horde with a couple of clues they leave you in Gears series, and you're absolutely clueless about the infected in Left 4 Dead.
Now.
Gears of War features the main boss, known as General Rom, a very large and powerful locust with a very badass, slow and built-up entrance. Rom kills Lieutenant Kim while the rest of Delta is busy fighting the rest of the Horde, and I was left with the general fear of running into the General at every corner. General. I get it there. The final confrontation with Ram signals the end of the game, and that's assuming that you do it right and don't die. In Gears of War 2, you fight Scourge, who has no rank, who also has an entrance that is definitely action-oriented. He jumps out of nowhere, slices the tank in half with his double chainsaw staff blade thingy, while everybody else looks on in shock and possibly awe. The final battle with Scourge and his Hydra, while difficult at times, is by no means the end of the game. Knowing all of that, Dead Space, a survival horror third-person shooter, reminded me a lot of General Ram, albeit a fuckload more scary. Left 4 Dead, which is a simple first-person shooter with zombies, relates a lot more to Scourge, very action-oriented. However, all of the games I mentioned are very fun, and with the exception of Dead Space, have awesome co-op. Catching up in the anime world. So, Kido Senshi Gundam 00 Season 2 Episode 19 aired last Sunday in Japan. This means they have 6 episodes to wrap up the story and complete any or all of the following plot points. Give Louise her mobile armor that was promised to her about 8 episodes ago. Kill Mr. Bushido, aka Guraya Maker. Kill Ali Al-Sarshez, aka the guy who really loves war. Find Veda. Deal with the Innovators. Consequently, deal with the A-Laws, which was the whole point of Season 2. I'm certain they could do it, but at the same time, I think something's going to be left out, like giving Louise her mobile armor, dealing with the Innovators, dealing with A-Laws, finding Veda, killing Ali Al-Sarshez, and killing Mr. Bushido. Wait a minute. Bleach has begun to animate the manga chapters entitled Turn Back the Pendulum, which deals with the origins of the 8 Vizards. And speaking of Bleach, so pretty much anyone who's up to date on the anime or have read the corresponding manga chapters know that Noitra's release form is a praying mantis with high-speed regeneration and multiple limbs. Like 6 arms and 2 legs multiple. Well, after watching LoadingReadyRun.com's Fail House, I've learned that out of an octopus's 8 limbs, the front 6 are considered arms and the other 2 are legs. Now going by that logic, this means that Noitra is not a mantis and is in fact a land-bound octopus. Fun times! About 2 weeks back, I had a customer approach me while I was stocking the frozen food section, and she was looking for Chinese edamame beans. This caused quite a bit of confusion within me, since at the time I had misread the Japanese word for peas, which is endomame, as edamame. And I believed that she was searching, in vain, for Chinese-Japanese pea beans. Fortunately, I didn't voice this mistranslation confusion, and instead found actual edamame pods that seemed to satisfy her. So this is just a note to self: if you're trying to learn a little language, it might help if you don't do it on your own from anime. This brings us to the end of the first true episode of InMotion, and I'd like to thank you all for listening, watching, and staying with us after all this time. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions, you can email them to inmotion@gmail.com. That's INMOTION@gmail.com. I hope to see you all again next episode, and signing off of InMotion Episode 1, The Inauguration, is your indomitable host, Zhan Shi.